Finally, Deontay Wilder, after Tyson Fury announced his deal with ESPN, Deontay Wilder came out on social media and he said that he wasn't aligned to any particular network, he was a free agent. Eddie Herndon came out and said, while doing the AJ Miller press conference, that this is almost a slap in Stephen Espinosa's face. You know, him reading that message. What do you make of that whole scenario with Wilder coming out first of all?
Well, you know, there are contractual obligations, and then there are sometimes moral obligations. And unfortunately, in boxing, a lot of people don't really take the moral obligations all that serious. But you know, when somebody has helped you guide your career and has done so and invested substantial amounts of money, then you know there is maybe a moral obligation, even though there might not be any contractual obligation. But you know, having said that, at the same time, you know, these young men, you know, in the case of Wilder in his early 30s, they have a very short window of opportunity where they can truly make a substantial amount of money and secure their future and the future of their children and in some cases of their children's children. So you know, if you have that opportunity and you can make that kind of money, then we should allow the fighters to make that money and put that money in the bank. And if I don't know what the contractual situation is with Wilder, but I'm sure if he says that he is a free agent, he must be a free agent, you know, and he's going to do what is right for him and for his team.
Which is finally, whenever there's fights on Showtime, HBO, ESPN, whatever network in America, they normally announce after the fights how many people watch the fights, so you have an inclination of how many pay-per-views it's done. With Dazn being a streaming service, I haven't myself or anyone I know that has come across their numbers in terms of how many eyes they get on their shows. Is there a reason why Dazn don't share their numbers?
Well, it's, you know, usually what I've learned is when you have good news, you announce it, and when news are not so good, you don't announce it. But you know, it's at the Dazn, I have to say. I mean, they have invested a substantial amount of money in boxing, and you know, I wish for them that it works. I don't know what their financial projections are, what their budgets are, where they would expect to be today compared to where they are today, whether they are ahead of the curve or behind the curve. We don't really know. We don't really know anything of that. I mean, you hear like numbers thrown around from they have 100,000 subscribers, and some people say they have 400,000 subscribers. You know, I have no idea what is true. Nothing has been said. It's a little bit more transparent in the case of ESPN, which started, you know, an app as well, which is showcasing many of the top-ranked fights, where they, because it's a publicly traded company as well, where I think they announced a few months ago that they're over 2 million, and I think now they're approaching 3 million. So they're building very fast. You know, so we haven't heard anything of that sort from the Dazn. So I mean, your guess is as good as mine.
Richard, all the best with Joe on Saturday night.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
The rest of the time in England, we'll catch up with you.
Thank you so much. I'll see you later.
Schaefer for FightHype.com. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.